reception list. Lions to work, first down at their 30. And here's Giannis Davis trying to get outside. Malik Jackson there with him, and Davis steps out after a 2-yard gain, and you get an idea of the speed of the linebacker, Malik Jackson.
Yeah, he hustled down there. I just want to show you, and we tracked Brandon Browner on that last play. He walks out on Emmanuel Arsenault to start things out. Now, maybe Chris Jones is just playing a regular defense with Browner back on his familiar corner spot, or maybe they've decided after that deep ball to Emmanuel Arsenault that they want to put Browner on him.
2nd and 8. Lule looking deep. He wants Arsenault, and he just missed him. Had a half step on Dwight Anderson, and Lule would like to have it back.
So here's exactly what Calgary's decided to do. Is they put Browner here, and they're going to put him back on Geroy Simon. Dwight Anderson's Emmanuel Arsenault, but not only is Browner covering Simon one-on-one, but they're going to give him some help too. Watch as Juwan Simpson there just brackets on a double team. That's why Lule goes to the single matchup with Emmanuel Arsenault on Dwight Anderson.
So both teams 2 and out in their opening possession. Good kick by McCallum. No return as it skips out at the Stampeder 36-yard line. Certainly has got his own sack race going in the NFL now.
I think he has 6 on the season.
3 last week and 6 in the first 5 games. It's dumped off to Reynolds, and he's cut down quickly by Corey Banks.
They can't block Cameron Wigg down there either. Quick tackle there by Corey Banks to jump up on Joffrey Reynolds. We haven't talked about Corey Banks much in this game tonight. A guy that always seems to be around the football. 6 quarterback sacks and 42 tackles on the year, and a guy that, you know, through the first half we were talking about as an early nominee for defensive player, certainly.
Banks went low on that tackle. It was a clean hit, but it certainly has been a topic of discussion, the low hit by the Lions defense in the last week or 2. Here's Burris stepping up, diving, and ball popped loose as he made contact with the ground. Burris driving short of the first down. They'll mark him inside the 45.
There has been discussion about these low tackles, and BC Lions playing Edmonton. Kamau Peterson was hurt on a low hit by Anthony Reddick. Different than that one from Corey Banks. Now, I think when you're talking about sort of the code in football, that if it's a ball carrier that is running full steam and turns and he's coming at you, low tackles are certainly acceptable. Both, by the way, hits, legal hits as they're written now.
But we chatted with Tom Higgins before the game, and there is a movement among coaches in the league to change the rule, perhaps to protect offensive players a little bit more, but the wording of that change is going to be difficult. Good kick by Dales, and even better cover as Giannis Davis is tossed down by Mark Kalist after a loss on the return. Brandon Browner's been prominent on Calgary's defense again tonight with more. Sarah Orlesky.
Well, Chris, Browner is already known as one of the top corners in the league, and he told me that he's been watching a lot more film this season, something that he didn't do a lot of in the past. So it should come as no surprise, though, the watching film. What it does, though, is that he says he's been watching himself on film, that offenses will throw different looks at you all the time. He finds it more beneficial to watch his own tendencies on film so that he can see what he's doing well and where he needs to improve.
Well, he's limited Geroy Simon to 1 catch, and now BC starts deep in their own zone at the 6, and from his end zone, with Flair and Robertson's going to give them some breathing room, and a first down up across the 15.
It's called self-scouting, and as you get older and your physical skills, and certainly Brandon Browner's physical skills aren't diminishing just yet, but as you do, and they do, you have to watch more film and become a smarter player. You got to look at what you do on the field and what you can correct. Be your own worst critic. Break down the film. That's what Brandon Browner is doing for the first time in his career. I mean, when you look early on, he said he didn't really watch much film. He just kind of was out there being an athlete. Now he's starting to study film, as Sarah mentioned, and it's going to make him that much better of a football player. No catches for Andy Fantus last week. 1 catch for G-Roy Simon this week so far.
2 of the best in the business. They marked him just short of the first down, Robertson. And there's a plunge off the left side on the quarterback sneak for Jarius Jackson to move the chains. And an important first down for the Lions to get them a little better field position.
You know, but knowing G-Roy Simon over the years, I know he loves this challenge. And you got to think that G-Roy Simon can't wait. I mean, he's probably hinting to his quarterback in Travis Lulay, don't worry about who's covering me. Is that a little hint there? He just a little whisper to Travis Lulay right there.
1st and 10. Lulay looked his way, then looks back, and as Robertson again pushed out by Browner on that far side. Well, G-Roy Simon watched Browner on Fantus last week and actually invites the opportunity to face Brandon Browner.
In their matchup system, they try to match body types with body types. But saying that, I've been our most productive receiver, and he's one of their better DBs. So I would expect anything. You know, I talked to him last time we played. I said, won't you tell your coach to have you cover me? And he said he's been trying to get it.
Well, they got it now on this play. 2nd down, and once again, Jamal Robertson being used as a receiver. That's 3 catches already on this drive at a 1st down.
That's what I meant. It's G-Roy Simon saying, why don't you go tell your coach to put you on me? And that's exactly what they're doing, especially in 2nd down. Passing downs, we're seeing 27 line up on 81. And let's see how this route went. Now, Travis Lulay went the opposite direction. G-Roy Simon, a bit of a step on Browner on that one, just didn't see the football.
And you haven't shut out G-Roy Simon or limited him to 1 until the 60 minutes is over. 1st down, Lulay has some time, loading it up. He wants Black. Stephen Black off for the ball, and it's intercepted. Keon Raymond, who had a fumble recovery for a touchdown, has an interception. It's his 4th of the year. And we got a little scrap going by the Lion bench. Dwight Anderson in the middle of it.
Manuel Arsenault over there too. What a play by Keon Raymond to stick with him all the way down the field, right on Stephen Black, and then time his jump absolutely perfectly. You can't cover it any better. Travis Lulay was just throwing it up, trying to get that matchup, seeing if Black could come down with this jump ball. The inside right here is the inside receiver, Stephen Black. Watch Keon Raymond pick him up late, stay in that hip pocket, take a look at his eyes, not bite yet, and then time his jump.
Major foul, unnecessary roughness. BC, major foul, unnecessary roughness. Calgary, it's Calgary's ball, 1st down.
So offsetting penalties. Wish we could tell you who was involved. I think Dwight Anderson was one.
And Emmanuel Arsenault, I believe, is the other, as they were trying to block each other. And good by the officials to just 1 each on that one and not have it influence the play. What an interception by Keon Raymond, putting together a good game.
And just for the record, it is Raymond's 1st interception of the game. The play in the 1st half ruled a fumble recovery as the ball was punched out of the hands of Travis Lulay. It was not an intended pass. Either way, it's a big defensive night for number 25. Here's John Cornish with speed. Cornish is seam. And he's up across the 45 before Karan Williams drops him.
And one of the most impressive things to me about John Cornish is his acceleration when he decides where he wants to go. As he works his way this way, as soon as he makes his decision to turn upfield, that first couple of steps are dynamite. Watch how he'll work his way, and then now he recognizes it. He sees that crease, and he hits it hard before a tackler can even react. He's about 7-8 yards down the field, and of course his average just shy of 8 yards a carry.
17 and on that crack, and of course the new West product always pumped to play the BC Lions. Came into the game 10th in rushing, and here's a guy who plays 1 out of every 3 series. And Corey Banks getting escorted to the sidelines. He took a knee and then tried to get up, but Bill Rochelle wants to make sure he's all right, and he's off for 3 plays. So Anthony Reddick will come in. And here's Burris, the long out intended for R.J. Franklin's incomplete.
Calgary Stampeders have been a good third quarter team, especially defensively, only allowing 47 points in the third quarters of football games all year. That basically breaks down to 3 points a game per third quarter. And Calgary Stampeders offense, that's where they really grab control of football games.
They did last week when they held on to the ball for 21 minutes and 7 seconds in the second half alone against the Rough Riders. 2nd and 10 here. 3-man Lion rush, and they're still putting heat on Burris, and now he'll step up. Aluminium in pursuit. Henry Burris is knocked out near the first down.
And Nick Lewis on Adam Leonard came back and lowered the boom for his quarterback.
And that has been done on occasion, and Leonard's going to have to take an 8 count. He's adding to that MOP candidacy tonight, isn't he?
Well, Henry Burris takes off. No question, he's put it under his arm and he's going now. Take a look at the top of your screen. Here it comes. Right here, Nick Lewis on number 44, Adam Leonard. And he just puts a pad right in the middle of his shoulder pads. Oh boy.
He's good for about 2 or 3 of those a season, but that's as high on the Richter scale as I think we've seen. Wow. Tad Crawford with the push out on Burris, but they give Burris the first down, and Leonard. Well, tomorrow the CFL on TSN continues with another doubleheader. First up, the Argos take on the Blue Bombers in Winnipeg. And following that, it's the Saskatchewan Roughriders, the Edmonton Eskimos. Live coverage gets underway at 3:30 Eastern, 12:30 Pacific. This one's worth another look.
Well, Nick Lewis, he's the deeper receiver on the in route here, and then he sees his quarterback running, and he comes down on Adam Leonard, and you just hope that Adam Leonard's going to be okay and get up. This is a legal hit, and they don't get any bigger than that one right there.
Objectionable conduct. BC number 21. It's a 10-yard penalty, and it's now first down.
Now the BC bench was watching closely because Adam Leonard was down, and they were watching the Calgary reaction to see if there was huge celebration over the big hit. In other words, unsportsmanlike conduct and huge celebration with the player on the ground, and I didn't see that from Nick Lewis, and it looks like Adam Leonard's going to be okay.
Boy, that's good to see Leonard up and on the sidelines. Not the first guy to be run over by the 82 train. What a night for Nick Lewis. And now maybe the hit of the year. Flags fly. The penalty on Ryan Phillips brings the ball inside the BC 45, and
Procedure. Calgary number 68. 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
You know, I know Adam Leonard, he gets hit on that play, but how many receivers in football, in any league, have the guts to come back on a linebacker going full speed, weighing 240, and just throw your body in there like Nick Lewis has done so many times in his career? I mean, that's what makes it that much bigger.
Well, there's not many linebackers that are much bigger than the 235-pounder.
And they're coming full speed. I mean, 99%, and no disrespect to receivers around the league, and Jock, I know you're listening in the studio, but 99% of receivers are going to pass up that hit. I mean, you got a 240-pound linebacker flying to the football full speed. They're passing up that hit. Nick Lewis doesn't pass up that hit.
In fact, he's probably looking for it every time Burris takes off. After the penalty, 1st and 15. And that pass incomplete at the feet of R.J. Franklin with the flag down.
And Lewis was wide open on that play. I think the reaction from Henry Burris there showed it all. Now, he might have got a bit of a jump, and that may be the penalty flag here. But wow, was he open.
Offside. Calgary, number 82. 5-yard penalty, repeat, first down.
He didn't see a safety in the middle on that last play, and he was so excited about it. He jumped the gun a little bit as the Lions jumped his own. Look at him waving. Wide open looking, no one around him.
You know, Corey Banks, thinking back to that hit, paid Lewis a compliment this week. He said he's an offensive guy with a defensive mentality, and it was never better illustrated on that last hit on Adam Leonard. 2nd and 15, catch is made. Robbie Bryant brought down at the 40. He's short of the first down, but does he get them into Rob Maver field goal range? And check that, it was 1st and 20, so it's now going to be 2nd and 6.
And that's what it does. It takes a good chunk of it away. When you're 1st and long like that, you're not even thinking first down. You're thinking take a big chunk, get yourself in a manageable situation.
So now 2nd down and 6. Henry under pressure. He'll dump it off at Cornish. First down. John Cornish is dropped at the 25-yard line. Richard Jones on the stop, but the Stamps are moving.
John Cornish is going to come up in protection here and tries to cut block off the edge. And then when he gets hurdled, he realizes, well, that was my assignment blocking-wise. So now what I might as well do is get up and become a receiver. Watch him come and try and protect here. He's going to cut block the oncoming BC line right there. That doesn't work. I believe it was Anthony Reddick. And then just trickles out as a receiver.
So Henry Burris over 300 yards in the game and gives it back to Cornish. Look at that speed. And Thron Williams with the horse collar tackle as flags flying everywhere at the 15. Excuse me, Stanley Franks with the tackle.
Yeah, there's no question it was a horse collar, and he actually rode that horse for about 4 or 5 steps.
Horse collar tackle. BC number 6. Half the distance to the goal, automatic first down.
Wally Buono talked about penalties from his defense with Sarah Orleski at halftime, and this is one that it almost appears that Stanley Franks forgot about the rule completely. I mean, he grabs him there, reaches up with the other hand, and then with both hands kind of pulls him backwards and then realizes it.
So that brings it first down inside the 10. Joffrey Reynolds checks in for duty. Play action fake to him. That wasn't available. Burris takes off. Another flag as he's dropped at the 4-yard line.
Like Brent Johnson sort of eliminated the throwing lane to the play side for Henry Burris, which made him take off and scramble to the backside. 10-year veteran has not missed a game.
Holding. Calgary number 62. 10-yard penalty. Repeat, first down.
Stanley Bryant charged. That'll march them back 10. The newcomer at right tackle.